Well, I think I'm live. We are going to give this a shot. If you have followed the channel at all, you may know there have been a couple of attempts that I've made at streaming, and they've all ended poorly, just in the sense that my internet connection has been very bad, and so there's been a lot of lag. I'm also new at streaming, don't know what I'm doing, and so a lot of times it would just kind of cut out after a while. Now, I think things may have slightly improved with my internet connection, though, lately. So I'm going to just see how this works. I don't really expect great things, but I need to sort of test it out. I think I want to. So we're going to be playing some Medieval Total War, the original here, assuming this works out. Now, games these days, man, it used to be back in the old days, you could just start up a game, start playing, no problem. And unfortunately, it's not quite that way anymore. This game works pretty well for me. I don't think I've had to do that much to it. But I was playing a few weeks ago just fine. Then, like 2 days ago, got on and it just would freeze and crash seconds onto the campaign map. No idea why. And then yesterday, it's working fine. So we're going to see if this continues, if Bill Gates feels like letting me play. I think I had a Windows update or two in there, so we're just gonna give this a shot. I've been wanting to play some Medieval Total War lately, and you know, I think I want to try some of the big map and glorious achievements. Let's see. Thinking something a little bit later. I've done early so much, it seems like my default start, so maybe let's go with, geez, either high or late. Late might be good. I might be able to crank out a late campaign in a single sitting here. So let's give that a shot. Glorious achievements. One of my favorite things about this game. So for the faction, you know, I was looking through the other day, and the Holy Roman Empire seems really interesting at this point. I've done them in early, and it's worked out pretty well. Byzantines are also kind of an interesting choice at this time, but they don't have, unfortunately, the Byzantines do not have the most interesting glorious achievement goals. I think all they have throughout the entire 3 campaigns is just homelands and conquest, and we'll see that in a moment. So interesting goals, I think, belong to factions like the Danes, the Germans, the French and English. You know, the big names typically have slightly more interesting and changing glorious achievements. You know what? Yeah, let's go with the Holy Roman Empire, with the Germans, Emperor Ludwig IV. I don't know much about medieval German history, so this will be. I don't think I've ever played this particular campaign either. Right, periodically, because I don't know what I'm doing, I'm going to be tabbing out and just seeing if anyone is saying anything. Oh, okay. We're not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming, whatever that means. So, not enough video. Lower bitrate. Stream status is poor. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Well, I'm just going to go along and kind of see how this goes. Okay. So, we're balancing a couple of things here. One is the stream logistics. The other is the game. So here we are back on the lovely Medieval 1 map. Glorious achievements here. So we've actually got one right off the bat. The Hanseatic League. We have to control more than 2/3 of North Sea trade, and somehow we've already achieved that. I'm guessing... I'm not sure exactly what they mean by North Sea. Do they mean literally the North Sea sea province here? Because if so, we don't really control it. We have one port here. And granted, we are trading. We've got 2 income from the port. We've got 15 from the trading post. If we actually have ships here, then that will obviously help. But it may count more than just this particular province. Oh, actually, we have 2. Okay, so maybe that's where the 2/3 comes from. We've got a second one in Saxony, and then Friesland. Okay, so I'm guessing if I lose either of the provinces, that achievement is going to go away. Some of these may be bugged, actually. You know, in the vanilla game, some of these achievements may not actually work. I think one of them, the Kalmar Union for Denmark, I think I remember hearing that was kind of broken. But we have homelands here. So the way the way it works is at these various dates, you get points scored. So right now we've got actually a lot. We may be getting the most points of anybody currently. So if that's the case, we would just need to survive until 1453. So that's, you know, 130 turns or so. But we don't have one of our homelands, and that is Livonia. So that is, yeah, up here. Okay, so it's kind of like a Teutonic Order type of a thing is what we're supposed to do. And then with the Conquest, Conquest is not a great return for a lot of factions. For us, every 3 provinces just gives us a single pip, so that's 1 point. And I guess for whatever reason, we've got 3 provinces probably in addition to our homelands. Okay, so maybe what I'll do is... Income's looking pretty good. I guess I'll just kind of cruise around and see about taxes. We can get away with a lot here. In the beginning of the game, I don't think we're at war or allied with anybody. So we do have a bit of choice as to how and where we want to expand. Alright, that's as high as we're going to get that. That brings us totally up to 1,500, so already quite a difference. Okay, so I guess first things first, check the diplomacy. Yeah, nothing going on. Very typical for medieval total war. No one starts really at war or anything like that. And then we also need to check alliances and, yeah, loyalty, because every single one of these governors or units has a commander leading it, and that guy can be disloyal. So 2 loyalty is not good. Let's take these guys just out of the fort so I can remember to come back to them. All right, 4 is fine. I'll take 4. Both of these guys are good. 2 is, again, not good. And the thing is, because he has a command star, he's always going to outrank the other 2 unless we give him a title with another command star. Okay, here we've got very nice loyalty on this chivalric men-at-arms. So we may give him a... Alright, what do we have here? Oh, this is great. He should be a lord of something. Why don't you just govern Brandenburg? And we've got a crossbowman. I kind of like to roleplay it a little bit and not... I don't like to give, like, just peasant units the governorship. And mounted crossbowmen don't really seem like a noble unit to me. So typically I like to keep it that way. Let's see. Alright. I don't know. This is 1 star. So what we could do, actually, is we could give it to this guy, the Teutonic Knights. Give him the title, and now he's tied, and now he's going to win in terms of rank. And yeah, it's just a malicious sergeant's unit. We do have some gunpowder, though. So some handgunners and a serpentine crew. Alright. You know, actually, it occurs to me, that's actually fine for now. We've got a lot of these titles which are going to give loyalty and other things. So we could give them around to people who are experiencing disloyalty. Let's go ahead and give this guy Duke of Bavaria. It seems to be our capital here. Okay, and the halberdiers are not looking great. But the crossbowmen, oh yeah, actually, we want to change that. So you can actually drop a guy in and he'll take precedence if they're otherwise tied in terms of who's going to lead. Okay, I guess that's all fine. And we have Switzerland here already, which is really interesting. You don't usually see them. I think they're only on the map in the late game. They can emerge in any scenario. So if you start in the early period and play long enough, you can see them emerge. But I think it requires that there is a... yeah, let's go ahead and give him that. You need to have a rebellion, I think. You know what? Since I want the loyalty at this point, yeah, he's actually looking very nice. And yeah, this guy, all right, let's do that. That gets him up to 3. And Imperial Chancellor, why not? You can lead Saxony, and we're good. We've got a princess. Now, at the early stage, I guess what we could do... I need to know who is in Livonia, actually. So let's get her over here. I don't start with any ships. So let's maybe start by training one. We'll go with, let's see, caravels or barks. Caravels, very nice. We'll have one in the Baltic Sea, so in like 3 years, we'll eventually have a ship here. So we can just leap over the rebel province in Lithuania. Oh, and we border the Mongols. Very interesting. Because they've already emerged. That's right. Okay. I think at this point I just will probably end the turn. But let's see. Do we need to do anything else with our family? I guess I could spend forever here doing building and stuff. Let's just go for some money. Pretty straightforward. And let's concentrate on the border provinces, I guess. Okay, so we've got a lot of them because we're pretty much surrounded. I think let's just go for some urban militia. Tyrolia is looking very bad, so keeping curtain wall makes it so that they can't just cut through the walls. Yeah, we'll get these castles built up to the next tier. Franconia is a border province. I kind of want, like, to get rid of Poland here just because it'll make my borders nicer. Right, I get both of these provinces, and then they can't strike into my immediate heartlands. But let's tech up the walls. This is actually probably all I want to deal with. Okay, we got a trait. Let's see how things are going in terms of the stream itself. Yeah, we're still getting that error message, so not sure at all how this is showing up. It looks like there is lag. Alright, give me the widget. Use a stream bitrate. I don't know how to set that. Ugh. Yeah, well, okay, this may just be a failed experiment. At least I'm playing Medieval Total War, even if no one else can see me, but it bugs me. It's like, I feel like I shouldn't have to do research to be able to just click a button and go live when I can record and upload stuff, and it seems pretty straightforward. But I guess it's something that if I want to do it, I'll have to look into it a little bit more. Okay, so we've got the Mongols going into Lithuania. It's probably going to be a big rebellion here, though, because they don't have enough men to hold down the province. So they're not much of a threat at this point. They're an absolute terror in the high period when they emerge. But in the late period, when they're already out, they've kind of spent all of their energy. Man, there's just so much going on here. Okay, let's do some more walls. We lost a bit of money, so maybe we should invest in that. Let's go. Actually, we can't train ships in Saxony. Let's go with a caravel in Friesland. We'll get some ships here, and I want to go with some money actually somewhere. This is actually my only settlement or province that doesn't border any other factions. It looks like Bavaria. So that's really safe. Let's go for salt mine. Yep, unrest in Lithuania. Yeah, I think we'll get alliances at this point. I could wait, because I know they're ready for it, and what I could have done is waited for my heir to mature. It's only going to be another season, so I could have gotten a princess out of that, because she was the one who showed up, I think. Okay, so I could have gotten a little bit better. So next time I'll deny the offer, send her down to Constantinople. And okay, so the other princess is up at Novgorod, which is the Russians. All right, they don't look too bad. We've got Orthodox bishop up here. Got a French emissary. They're going to see the Poles. So that's not good. They're getting an alliance with people on the opposite side of me, so the French are a problem. Right. Let's see. We do have mercs available here, but it's nothing great. Alright, I need to see where I can train stuff. Let's just cruise around and look for training. Because it's the late game. Okay, Saxony is looking very developed. We can get chivalric men-at-arms. Halberdiers at Brandenburg. So the north is looking surprisingly good. Bohemia's also got some variety. That's where we've got our handgunners. Bavaria. Okay, that's where we want to do a lot of training. Bavaria, Saxony. I guess that makes sense. Alright, so let's do that. Let's go for, like, crank out... let's see, the upkeep costs in these units are quite low. So you can just afford to have these long-standing armies, which always bugged me now that I remember. It seemed like a little too easy just to have armies hanging around forever. Alright. So I'm allied with the Italians, so I shouldn't... I can't remember how strong diplomacy is in this game. Alright, we've got an heir. Great. And let's wait. I would like to ally with the English, but I'd also like to get a princess out of it. Alright, good. Irritable and killer instinct, so +1 dread, +2 valor, and another point in dread. That's good. You don't want your first heir to have a bunch of bad traits. So he's actually looking wonderful. And the king, the emperor, is 40 years old. Lawman. Oh, interesting. +1 dread. Okay. So we could have an alliance with the English. Now, do we have an emissary? Yes, we do, in Swabia. So we need to look around for a red princess. Alright, that wasn't it. Okay, the Danes own Livonia. Alright, so we're going to be going to war with the Danes. Well, that's pretty straightforward. Get Denmark and Livonia, and that's it. Now, when do we need to get it? Livonia is counted in 1350. Oh, we got all kinds of time. 25 turns. So let's send... We need to get a bunch of emissaries around is what we need to do, because the princesses are going to be moving around the map really quickly. So let's bring him over to Wessex and just see what that looks like, and we may need another princess somewhere else. Constantinople is good because a lot of factions tend to go through that area. Venice is another good one, but we can already see what's there. So we may want another emissary, actually, somewhere. Let's see, where do we have emissary ability? Not Bohemia, even. Do we just not have a single place where we can train an emissary, or am I missing it? Okay, here we go, Bavaria. Figured it's got to be the place where we can train Royal Knights. All right, we'll get them in a few turns. Lithuania has driven out the Mongols, but they may get it back at some point. I'm not crazy about this. This is going to be kind of a rebellious province, if I remember. We'll keep the princess there for now, but we can see what they've got. And it's some decent stuff, I guess. Chivalric men-at-arms, some of the crossbow guys, chivalric sergeants, and up here we can't see because we don't have border forts or watchtowers. You know, I think I'm going to avoid... Well, let's do a watchtower. But I think I'll avoid, like, the ring walls and all that, just because I don't think we're going to need to defend this place too much. Especially if we have ships on the coasts and if we take Denmark fairly soon. Now, we're going to have to, I think, cross a river to do it. No, we don't. They have to cross a river to get to us. Okay, so that's nice. We'll have a river battle, whatever happens. But yeah, we're going to have to worry probably about the Poles and the French. And certainly the French, but you know, they could both cause problems. Okay, so my king and my prince, where do I want to put them? Let's take all of these units. We'll leave the peasants. Oh, leave them right there with the king where they won't cause trouble. We've got another chivalric man-at-arms. Let's bring him up to Franconia. And we'll just kind of keep adding units. We'll get some halberdiers, I guess. We want some archers, too. Actually, some handgunners. Let's do that. Alright, let's see if the stream is continuing. And it does appear to be continuing to go, at least. Maybe pausing every now and then. Alright, we'll go back to it. Yeah, if anyone does end up watching this, let me know how egregious the situation is to be a viewer of this attempt. There's probably a way that I can just stream like practice-wise and just kind of see how it works. But I haven't figured that out. Okay, so yes, we're allied with the Italians, and the Aragonese want to ally with us, and they're allied with all the right people, honestly. So you see what's happening in the game is the people from the opposite end of your neighbors want to ally with you so that you two can kind of work together and pick them apart. So honestly, these are all good in a way, but let's wait because, again, if you hold out, you can have your emissary get a princess. They'll say yes, most likely. Here we go. All right, where's my emissary now? I sent him over to Wessex. He can't have gotten far. Ah, right here. Okay, so now we'll go back here, and we'll see if they agree to that, which I'm sure they will. All right, it looks like they may be adding to this, but a bunch of like swordmen and you know, and tough stuff like that, we should be good. Let's go with a couple more here. Okay, he's not very loyal. Well, that's why the prince is going north. Yeah, I think we should be good. Some archers would be nice, but maybe let's go for some mounted crossbowmen. Now, you know what? I think I like the Slav javelinmen. Slav. And we'll kind of add them as they get up here. Early game is kind of wondering who's going to attack you or deciding outright to attack them. But I always like to play a little slow and kind of wait to see what the AI is going to do and then react to that. You can certainly blitz in this game, and, you know, it's... I don't know. To me, it seems a little unfun to do that. It's pretty effective, no question. But I like to give the AI a little bit of a chance to surprise me. Okay, speaking of, that was the Mongols attacking us. Very interesting. Prussia invaded. The Golden Horde have invaded your province. Okay, so we've got a couple of good cav units. We've got peasants. And they've got better cav. But, you know, we've got more of these units than they do. This is Mongol heavy cav, both units, but one is like at half strength. All right, let's command the defense personally. We may be able to do okay here, depending on how they move around the map. The tension of waiting to see if that loading bar is going to end with a crash or get you to the battle map. Here we go. Yeah, in my experience lately, the battles load fine. It just takes a little while. Okay, why are we all strung out weirdly like that? Very strange. The controls here are very interesting. So this is the second Total War game ever. And as a result, there's no WASD. There's also very little differentiation between left and right mouse button, or in that you do almost everything with the left mouse button. Selecting a unit's left mouse. Ordering units to attack or march someplace, also left mouse, which leads to some very interesting scenarios in which you think you select a unit, but you accidentally click a patch of the ground, meaning that you've just ordered the previous unit you had selected to march to that other unit. So, yeah, it's good time sometimes. But, you know, in a way, I don't mind it all that much because I just love the game. This is my first Total War game that I ever played. And the lousy controls, here's a way you can rationalize it. If you really want to rationalize stuff to enjoy yourself, rather than just complaining about stuff and having an awful time, you could say, alright, the controls that I have in this game are way better and more responsive and immediate than anything an actual medieval general would have had at the time. So if anything, it's almost like a realism issue. Right, in that the controls are so bad. Okay. So let's send them at around the same time here. These Teutonic sergeants, I think they've got swords, not spears. So, really not sure how this is going to all work out. Our peasants are just standing here. I'll throw them in, I guess, at some point. Alright, yeah, we're not doing too good. Are they marching for the peasants? Yes, they are. Well, let's see if we can hold formation. Hold position. Don't know if that's going to do anything. Finally getting evenly matched. If we can quickly kill these guys, which does not look like it's going to happen, then we could turn maybe and deal with this unit. But then we've got the horse archers to worry about. So, peasants are probably going to run away anytime. They're wavering. Oh, here come the Mongol horse archers piling on. Yep, peasants are gone. Alright, there's not much we can do. I'm just going to speed it all up. There we go.
Before the enemy.
Alright, so then we go back to the campaign map and see if we get anybody away. Alright, we do have some guys in the castle under siege. Sure, let's pay for the return, the ransom. Alright, see, we got our marriage offer. And now our prince, Prince Ludwig, is married. Great. So we can start having some kids. We've also got a bunch of other younger heirs coming of age, but the game does track this. There's no family tree, of course, unfortunately. But you can, the game will track which one of these guys are the brothers of the current king versus his son. And so when the son comes of age, he's going to be the heir, and these guys are going to become, you know, a little less loyal, basically. All right, I want to keep some units here just to keep the Danes off my back. But let's go over to Pomerania. It seems like that's reasonable anyway. And you know, I think I will take the halberdiers, both units. We'll bring them over too. We've got some javelin men. All right, and there's the fleeing guys. Now, the nice thing about actually having not many people is that the castle's going to hold out basically indefinitely. We've got so few men. We've literally got 9 men inside this castle. That means they can't take it unless they assault. Now, they may assault next turn. They got 113 men. But if they do, we can see about holding it off. We've got a castle and a ring wall, which means there's lots of walls they'll have to get through, gates, and so on. So if we can quickly get forces over here, then we could do something to ruin their day, hopefully. But yeah, let's keep moving these guys up to the north. Okay, thank you for pointing that out. So, stream is jittery. It's only a 2-second pause every dozen seconds or so. That's awful, yeah. Sorry about that. Seems to pick right back up instead of skipping, so I expect the longer it goes and the longer time I got. Yes, so people have mentioned that in the past. So I need to figure out how to get rid of that. And what the thing is telling me for recommendations is that I need to increase the bit rate. Right, that's what they recommend. But I'm not quite sure what that means or how to go about that. So I'll probably need to do a little bit of research into that. It could be maybe that my internet is just not good enough to do this type of thing. I was hoping, because I was getting better results uploading, and that the uploading of videos was not messing with my internet. Otherwise, like typically, I would upload a video to YouTube, and I couldn't do anything else. All right, English attacking the French. Very interesting. But lately, I've been able to upload and do all sorts of other things. It hasn't really impacted things. So I'm kind of... That's... Oh, wait, we just got cash from the Pope. Nice. Okay, probably because we're fighting the Golden Horde. Oh, right, I forgot this too. So, both sides in a siege in this game lose forces, lose men during the siege, which is wonderful. Such a wonderful mechanic, accurate, and it makes it a bit of a, at least somewhat of a balanced situation, like in Rome Total War, and probably with all the later games. Well, no, in like Thrones of Britannia, and probably is it the case for Attila and the other more modern, I guess, engine games, you can besiege a settlement and you will undergo attrition after a while or during a certain season, like if it's winter. But here it's like if you're the besieger, you lose men anyway because you guys are just camping out for years, with unsanitary conditions. But we did not do that much damage to them. We didn't lose anyone, actually, because we're in the castle. We've got a ton of supplies in there relative to the very few men we have. Okay, so the Spanish want an emissary. They are allied with the Golden Horde. So what does that do? If I accept, does that mean that they're going to break their alliance? Does that mean the war will end? I honestly don't know. Let's see. We're still at war, and we're allied with the Spanish, so the Spanish do not... Oh, they've kept their alliance. I don't know how that works then. We're still at war with the Golden Horde. They're still allied with the Golden Horde. I'm allied with them. I would have thought that would have messed something up. But at any rate, we can now attempt our revenge. Okay, so we've got these guys. This is the governor, although, we probably could use the cav here. And I'll leave these guys here for now. Send them right over into Prussia. And I guess the other guys can stay in the castle. I think if we take them out of the castle and drop them on the map, they will show up as units in the battle. But if we don't, they won't. Okay, so what happened over here? Now that we've got our ship, we can see more in the North Sea. So we can see the English have not taken Scotland yet, which is nice. But they have taken Flanders. I think France started with that. So they're jumping in, which is really awesome, actually. So I should probably ally with them, or at least, well, we'll see. I don't think I need to. If there's a war going on there, I think I'm probably good. All right, let's just end the year. Yeah, big war in Flanders. Reinforcements showing up in my province with the Golden Horde. But they've decided they cannot stand, so they're gonna leave. All right. Poland wants an alliance. Jeez. That might be interesting. I'm gonna be at war with the Danes. I could use a front that I don't have to worry about. So let's do that. Okay, here we go. So the Spanish decided that they're gonna stay allied with the Mongols. All right, fair enough. Okay, and this is really interesting because we could just go right down here and follow the Mongols all the way, into the steppe if we wanted to. I don't particularly want to, but oof, that would be annoying. All of these horse archers, but they don't have any territory here. So one thing I could do is just move down, see if they do anything, if they withdraw, right? And then I would just get the province. Let's try that. Now, the public order is not going to be nice here. We'll train No, cancel that. We won't train anything. We'll move some men over. Let's... Yeah, these guys are both pretty loyal. Let's move them back. Just 9 guys. That way we can go to the fort if we need to, and we'll see what they do. If they want to stand and fight, I do not want to actually press the attack, but I just want to get them to retreat. Maybe we can take that land, destroy anything that looks good. Okay, we got John of Bohemia with hideous scars. Is he the blind king of Bohemia? I think this is who this is supposed to be, right? He was the guy who fought in the 100 Years' War with the French. Is that right? Something like that? Oh, that's cool. I mean, he seems like an important guy, coming with all this dread, loyalty, and command. And then his name is also interesting. So there were these, like, hero units who would show up. I think I need to make him King of Bohemia then. There we go, yes. Lord of Bohemia, King of Bohemia. That's funny because his last name was of Bohemia. So instead of saying, you know, Lord, whatever the last name is, it says Lord of Bohemia, which is very fitting. Okay, so he'll govern this place. Oh, that's right. I was training guns. We'll just move them up. Oh, English have a crusade going somewhere. We should get a notification about where. And this Swiss attacked me. Okay, great. So we get Volhynia. And the Swiss have invaded with all of their pikes. All right. I'm not going to win this, but I can kill a bunch of their pike with my archers. So that'll be what we're doing here. We're going to do this, retreat to the castle. This battle should load up quick. Yeah, maybe it's just the first one when you play that is very daunting. Okay, because we're defending, we get to change where we're going to stand. And, you know, I may as well keep the peasant general. It's not like we're going to stick around very much. They're going to be right down there. They don't get a choice when you're the attacker as to where you deploy. Now, we could theoretically start shooting them, but I don't really believe it. I think that we need to get closer to have a little bit more line of sight. All right, that's actually pretty good. They must have all started at 96, and this guy's already down by 10. The rain, if I remember correctly, is going to hurt our effectiveness. But the Swiss pikemen are very vulnerable. At least this unit, because they don't have any armor from what I recall. So they're attacking, but yeah. You know, if they catch us again, they do. Actually, I'm remembering now. The morale debuff from being a skirmisher unit and having to just skirmish too much is a real thing. So we're going to do some casualties here. Let's throw in the general. This is going to be a quick little battle. We're going to lose. And notice how they're not...
your army has been
oh my God.
by a perfidious foe.
Yeah. See, I just did it. I just did the thing where you... yeah, we're all gone. Where you try to click a unit to select him and you accidentally end up ordering another unit to move somewhere else. Alright, so that was a little embarrassing, but we've got a big castle, so that's fine. Oh, here we go. Yeah, armored pikemen. This is the unit you worry about. And then we've got regular pikemen, Swiss pikemen, which are better, and Swiss armored pikemen. Notice how no stats are given. They tell you how many men. They tell you the valor unit. That's the experience. They tell you the support costs. Like who cares, right? But they don't tell you anything about what the numbers are. What are the charge bonuses? What is their armor? What is their defense rating? All these numbers exist in the game, but they didn't show them at this point. So it was all just words, just descriptive words, which honestly I was fine with at the time. And if you really wanted to figure it out, what you could do is, get the book. The guide to this game is one of my favorite game guides of all time. And it has stats for all the units. Okay, let's see. So, the other thing, siege equipment is very fun because you have to deploy it carefully. You have to decide where you're going to put it. I think we're going to be a little silly here. We're going to put it way up high. Now, there may be a problem with with getting the firing arc right. All right, can we deploy it here? Yeah, we should be able to. Why can you not? I mean, I can put the... Oh, because this is not deployable land. Okay. There we go. Urban Militia General. All right, fair enough. We've got Halberdiers, and we've got Urban Militia, and that's it. We've got some Crossbowmen too. So I'm going to learn from the last one. We're not going to keep them down really low, but what hopefully this will do... Let's see. Hold position, fire at will. Yeah. We're already firing. I don't know how much we're going to be doing. There's the king. But you know what? We'll focus on whatever's coming at us, pretty much. And they're going to try to get higher ground. I guess I should have known that. Alright, let's move the Halberdiers over. We could theoretically get lucky with a boulder and take out the enemy general. These guys are not going to have too much room to retreat. Yeah, let's charge in. Maybe we can take care of this unit. You know, maybe not. Notice how close... I mean, these guys are on skirmish, right? Notice how close they will allow the enemy to get. So the Swiss pikemen, we're actually doing pretty well right now. That's going to end soon. Well, good. They're chasing those crossbows. Keep this unit on engage at will. I think they're pretty safe back here, and we may be able to shoot over the heads to do some damage. But they've got a long reload time, so it may not work out. Oh, the Swiss pikemen are now winning. Uphill. Ugh. Okay, you guys are on fire at will. There we go. Yeah, we haven't taken any more of these guys down. I'm surprised at how well these pikemen are doing. They don't appear to be in any kind of formation. So I would have thought our halberdiers would have done better to them. But they've got actually experience, you can tell. Whereas my men don't. And that's no doubt because of the command stars of this general. Helping all of his men fight better. Alright, we actually won this fight. Took out some of those Swiss pikemen, but we got more coming. Now these are just regular pikes, the kind that anybody can train, but I don't think we're going to last. So you know what, let's just turn and hit them with my crossbows. I know that I could pick a better target like the armored halberdiers or something, but for now let's just go with that. Maybe we can get them with our catapult to do a little